And when they found nothing pertaining to Trump or Russian collusion, well, they charged him with a years-old crime and threw him in solitary confinement because they could. Manafort was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. And Paul Manafort joins us now to talk more about this. And, sir, it's good to have you on tonight. Did your experience teach you a lesson about what our government is actually capable of?
Well, yeah, it did that. I mean, I always lived by the law books, what the law books taught me, which was that the system was fair, the scales of the justice were balanced, and everybody was treated the same, regardless of any issue. I was wrong. This deep state was very frightened of Donald Trump, and they did everything they could to try and destroy him. And people like myself and Roger were means to that end, where they came after us to try and get us to capitulate and give them Donald Trump, which neither of us would do because it wasn't true.
Yeah, well, not that you wouldn't do it, you couldn't do. You couldn't even possibly do it if you wanted to because they didn't have the goods. You know, it's interesting. You were put in solitary for a time, which was a move so bold, even Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was critical of your time in solitary confinement. She tweeted this in 2019. Paul Manafort is being sent to solitary confinement in my district, Rikers Island, here in New York. A prison sentence is not a license for government torture and human rights violations. That's what solitary confinement is. Manafort should be released along with all people held in solitary. I mean, it's staggering to see. I mean, you would never expect support from somebody like that, but that's how overt it was. What happened to you, that's how obvious the abuse of power was.
Yes, that's exactly right. And in my book, that's what I talk about. I go through the details of why the deep state didn't like Trump, what they were trying to do to Trump, how they were using the Justice Department and the law enforcement and national security agencies to go after Trump, and why I was targeted for that purpose. I go into the details, and it's an ugly story, and it's one that I talk about. Americans have to be careful of, because even though I was a target, Roger was a target, Navarro was a target, Trump is a target, they're really going after the American people and trying to force them into either, silently letting them do what they want with power, or joining their cause. And it's something we can't let happen.
How do you see the problem inside the FBI? I mean, we say it all the time, but obviously there's a lot of law enforcement love for Trump. There's a lot of people in the FBI that are patriots in this country that don't support what's happening. We know there's a lot of support from the rank and file and a lot of people against this. How do you view the problem? Well,
look, I think if the agents are seeing what's going on and they're being quiet, then they're guilty by complicity. I mean, they have to rise up. They have to be whistleblowers. They have to, expose the corruption in their ranks, or they're a part of the corruption. And right now, Christopher Wray and the leadership of the FBI is as committed to justice as Jim Comey was and his regime, which is not very much. I think it's very important that FBI agents, because there are good ones there, not feel coward and know that there are support on the outside if they will stand up. It's also important for Republicans to take over the Congress and to make sure that the members of the FBI understand that they will be rewarded for exposing the corruption, not punished for it.
Understood. Paul Manafort, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.